Hello, team. I hope everybody's having a great start to the week. We're looking forward to a great weekly sales meeting. Want to get started. And first of all, congratulations. Great job. We got a 6-week streak of new record lock weeks. So a lot of effort, a lot of doing the things that we talk about, the activities, the relationship building, the getting out there and getting it done. This goes for both our loan originators, our operations team members. Like, record lock weeks means everybody's got to turn it up a notch, and everybody is. So great job. But want to get started here and talk about challenging comfort. So, this is something I see is like, at the end of the day, like Tony Robbins says, like, in order to actually change, you have to take massive transformable action. You have to go through the process of taking action and really getting down to the root cause of your habits and your behaviors. In order to drive that, you got to be all in, and you have to challenge yourself. So challenging comfort's a really important part of how we're evolving as a company. Just last week, hey, listen, we're going to implement video into operations. Hey, what does that mean? We're going to identify 2 loan coordinators, 2 processors, 2 closers. And, starting on Monday, I'd like for you guys to send a video message to your stakeholders. Hey, loan coordinator, you're sending a message to the loan officer. Processor, you're going to send a message to the consumer, the borrower during the transaction. Closer, you're going to send it to the processor and the loan officer, all with the purpose of, like, hey, bringing visibility, creating a relationship. It's not about going over a CD or going over an LE. Like, we know how to do that. It's about building the relationship, understanding the why behind what we're doing, how we're doing it, what the next steps are, providing direction, bringing certainty to the transaction through context. And by doing that, first day we see, like, hey, listen, that there's some opportunities for us to get better as individual contributors on the camera. So I got Nicole involved; she's coaching them up. But we're identifying, oh, you know what, we got to improve this process because we can see there's an opportunity for efficiency here. But at the end of the day, what it took was, hey, team member open-mindedness to the fact that we're going to challenge their comfort zone, going from never not being on video at all to being on video. And by the way, I'm going to BCC the owner of the company on the email, so he's going to be watching the videos. Like, can you imagine how, like, intense that is and how much aggravation that probably creates? But at the end of the day, it's like, you got to leave your comfort zone. And then, you get a little bit of comfort going on the camera the second time, the third time. Next thing you know, your goal is, how do I go from a 3-minute video down to a 2-minute video? I got to make this more efficient because I still got to get my job done. And this is what it takes. It takes massive action. It takes forced adoption, and it takes leaving your comfort zone. And that's what we have to do in all areas of what we're doing. So I think about that as a loan originator. It's like, what activities do I need to be doing to get to where I want to go? What's the goal? Hey, listen, Anthony, I want to get to 10 loans a month, or I want to get to 12 or 15 loans a month. Well, how are you going to get there? Because if you want to get to 10 fundings a month, you got to be, originating 20, 25 transactions, maybe even 30 a month, because, pre-approvals, people finding homes takes time. Loans fall out. Like, there's a lot of things that have to happen. Well, first of all, you got to do things that are uncomfortable. You got to fail. Like, in order to win, you got to fail. Like, this is the biggest thing that people don't want to do, is they don't want to be in uncomfortable situations. Like, believe me when I tell you, before we had 100 people on a recruiting call, we had none. Imagine going through a recruiting call, doing an hour of your time and talking to nobody, but putting on your game face and giving your best performance. Because at the end of the day, I'm sitting there saying, hey, whether there's nobody on or not, I know Caden's recording this. And at the end of the day, Caden's going to see that this is the way this person operates. When nobody shows up, he shows up. That's the standard that we operate at. So same thing, you got to go to the open houses. You got to go to the meetings. You got to host the meetings. You got to do the things that are not easy, that might not get a response, might not get a result, but over time, that's your standard. And as soon as your standard is developed based upon your habits, guess what? Get into 10 loans, get into 15 loans, get into 100 loans. There's no limits, but you have to challenge your comfort zone, and it has to take forced adoption and massive change in behavior. So call to action, everybody, here is, whatever you don't want to do, whatever you look at and you're like, don't want to do that. Don't want to post a video on social media. Don't want to go to an open house. Don't want to have a realtor meeting and deal with a realtor that might not give me a loan. Like, whatever those things are, challenge yourself. Do those things. Go in the daily sales huddle. Oh, don't want to do that at 4 o'clock. It's the end of the day. What? Do it. All of these things matter. All of these things are how you transform the behavior. You're open-minded to getting out of your comfort zone. You're open-minded to getting better, and that's how you get there. So next thing I want to talk about here is, understanding that at the end of the day, there are no rules. And this is really a big one. Like, as somebody that, I stopped going to school in the 8th grade, okay, no GED, no high school diploma, no college education, no nothing. Okay. I've operated many businesses. I've owned many businesses. In the eyes of people, again, there are no rules, whoever these people are, am successful. But at the end of the day, what you realize when you go through that process of building businesses, by the way, like you're talking to somebody that can't even like sign on their computer without somebody helping them. Right now, like just to do this video, I had to have somebody come here and help me. Like, I'm not a very technical person, and I started a technology company that, by the way, everybody uses and loves, and it's one of the best technology companies in the world. Like, that's like, it's about vision. It's about understanding there are no rules. Have a vision for your business. Have a vision for the experiences you're trying to facilitate. Have a vision for the culture and the environment you want to create for the people around you. Have a vision for the customer, interaction and the relationship that you're going to have with your customers. Like, you have to define your vision. You have to understand that regardless of what everybody else is doing or whatever everybody else says is successful, including me, you set the rules. There are no rules out there. You set them. You say what's acceptable. You say what the standard is. You define what success is. Like, that's up to you. So understanding that, like, don't live by norms or don't live by what everybody tells you to do. You have to drive your experience. If you want to build a business that gets to 10 loans a month, but you hate your life and you're miserable and blah, 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 like, that's not going to be successful. You have to do it your way, and you have to make sure that you understand that, like, the way that everybody else does it might not be your way. So last thing I want to talk about is how you get there. And this is a big one, and feedback is really critical here. And I see, like, a lot of people come from a lot of different environments that don't really create an environment that's based upon trust and based upon giving feedback in a constructive way where people take it constructively. So, for me, understanding that, like, everything we do here is about feedback. We got Report Up, we got NPS survey, we got LO NPS survey, I got one-on-one meetings, I got leadership meetings, like, you name it, it's all facilitated around feedback. We did an advisory council a month ago. And, hey, I asked 14 of our loan officers, hey, I want you to be on advisory council. We're going to talk about the things that we need to get better at. And I asked all of them, please make sure you're thoughtful, constructive in the way you present the information, but please hit me where it hurts and tell me what we need to get better at. And the thing is, like, I already know these things. We're working on those things. Like, I'm already cognizant. It's the context and the nuance that helps us really focus on the details that truly matter, that will help us address those things. But at the end of the day, it's like, from our leadership team's perspective, it's understanding, like, guys, this isn't an attack. This is music. This is beautiful. Our loan originators trust us. If they just were telling us what we want to hear and they weren't, pointing out problems and identifying opportunities for improvement, then they don't trust us. We haven't created an environment where they can tell us the truth about how we can get better. But we did, Ariel and Lindsay and Kristen and all the Ben Bell and all the people that Breon, all the people that were on the advisory council gave us really great feedback, high level of accountability, truth and directness in everything they said. And it identified pain points that we need to address. And it's not just to address it for those 14 people, but they're a reflection of the broader audience. They're a reflection of all of our team members and our customers and all the pain points that are being felt. And it's our job to take that feedback. It's a responsibility. Take that feedback, take it apart, identify what drove it, identify what the root cause is, and then put the people in place to design a plan to fix those things so it's not a pain point in the future. Not the person that identifies the problem isn't going to be the one that solves it. And in a lot of cases, the person that identifies the problem is usually the cause of the problem. Hey, listen, Anthony, the reason why this is effed up or messed up is because you got involved and you broke it, or you set bad expectations, and whatever those things are. It's like, okay, well, guess what? We got great solutioners. We got great people here that can help design solutions that make us better. And guess what? When we make it better and we get better every day and we improve, what happens? Our loan officers and our team members trust us even more. They give us even more feedback, and we keep getting better. And the pace in which we get better, it becomes the differentiator and the separation between us and everybody else. And that's the goal. That's the game, is getting better every day, because we want to be best in class. I'm going to hand it off, and I'll see you guys soon.
Hey guys, Breon Price here with the Cincinnati branch. Today I want to talk about an EXP event that we're actually a part of. Really, really awesome. So last week, my team was actually invited to the EXP regional event. So there was 5 regional events all throughout the country. One of them was located here in Cincinnati, and we actually were invited to come to it. to speak a little bit, and then to also do a little bit of sponsorship with them. So first and foremost, they asked us, which is really, really awesome. Okay, so it wasn't, Breon called and said, "Hey, we want to be a part of this." They actually asked us if we wanted to be a part of it. So what that tells me is that UMortgage on a national scale is gaining a lot of attention. If EXP, one of the largest, most up and coming brokerages, is asking us to be a part, that's really, really cool. That means that our name is starting to open up a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors. So they asked us, all right, and we got to speak at it. We got to interact with the agents. Um, I love working with EXP. I think it's one of the best brokerages. I think that their business plan greatly mimics what we're doing here at UMortgage. And what I mean by that is they're very independent. They provide a really, really cool culture and infrastructure, but ultimately they let their real estate agents really run with it and kind of grow their business, which sounds a lot like what we do here. So if you're looking for an opportunity, like what real estate agents do I want to work with? I would start with the EXP agents that are in your local market, because I think that you're going to be able to get a lot of natural traction with them. And I think you're just going to have a lot in common. Okay. So the other thing is, like, what did we actually do after the event? Because you could throw a really, really fun event, but unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't necessarily translate into gaining a lot of business from it. So what I always tell my team is this: like, we have to turn a fun event. Okay. So first off, we have to throw a fun event, or we have to be a part of a really fun event. But then the second part is we have to convert that into leads, and not just leads, but good leads. Okay. So everything is built into the follow-up process. So for the last basically 7 days, I've been following up with the agents that I know that were there, and also the agents that I didn't know, okay, and scheduling lunches and one-on-one meetings with them. Okay. So my business plan has always been, if I can sit down with a realtor for 35 to 45 minutes, individual, and learn about their business, then I know that I'm probably going to get business from them if I choose to, if I think it's going to be a good fit. So everything that we do is designed around a phone call. "Hey, just wanted to let you know I really appreciate coming to the event. I appreciate you guys being, having us be a part of it. And I would love to learn more about your business. Is there any way that I could take you out to lunch, or I could take you out to coffee, sometime next week?" Super simple, really cool phone call, thank them for the opportunity, and then roll right into scheduling a meeting to learn about their business. So, a real cool call to action for everybody. I think we should all focus on reaching out to new agents that we have never worked with before. Even myself, you know, it's super fun. It can keep everything moving. It refreshes everything, and you never know. One of those people that you reach out to might be somebody that referred you 20 plus loans a year. So, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Ashley. I am here to chat with you about the military community and VA home loans, and what I do and how I can maybe help you do some more VA home loans. So I'm a military spouse. I work within the military community, mostly doing VA loans, and consider myself an expert in the field of VA loans. And one of the things that I'm going to go over with is the education out there. So we want to be constantly educating the military community on the program options that they have to them, because there are a lot of myths out there, which is another talking point that we'll go over, that they'll constantly hear different things from: there's a minimum FICO for a VA home loan versus it's an overlay. They'll hear they can only use their VA home loan once. So those are the type of things that we are going to go over to help educate the community and just say, hey, these options are out there for you. So that's a big thing that we're going to go over and do. Another thing that I would like to talk about is the military community itself, working with them. So you might be surprised to find out that you are closer to a military base or post than you think. So if you can get involved in that community, and what I recommend is, a lot of military spouses are real estate agents. It's a portable career. It's a very popular career. And you'll notice that every few years, they have to reestablish their sphere again. And they have the connect in their command and their fellow military members that they can reach out and use those connections to gain clients. And if you are their preferred lender, and you're an expert on VA home loans, you'll have that connection within the military community just built in already if you make that partnership with an agent who happens to be a military spouse. They also can partner with you doing base events like at MWR and other home buying courses that you can offer actually on the military installations. So that would be a good way to get into the military community and partner with different people within it to help bring that education to the community. So call to action. I'll be on the sales huddle tomorrow at 4, and I hope to see you guys there. And have a good day.
Hi, I'm Todd Bitter, Chief Sales Officer at UMortgage, and I wanted to talk briefly about real estate agents and the things I've done over my career to bring agents in and develop relationships with those agents. So everybody out there right now, because the refis are gone, are bombarding agents with cold calls. And while that does work, inviting them to coffee, dates, things of that nature works as well. You almost need to be something different. And being different is things like what I did back in 2008 when I was really on the rocks with needing business. I just started calling agents and I started saying, hey, let me do a survey right now on the housing market. I'm just calling. I'm not trying to gain your business. I just want to do a quick survey about where the housing market stands today. And I just came up with a number of questions. Most of them were things I wanted to know about realtors, but I peppered it with some questions like the state of the housing market, where they see prices going, where they see rates going, and things of that nature. But I proposed it as I was doing a survey. And then what I would do is at the end, I would say, a couple of weeks when I'm done with my surveys, I'm going to call you back and give you the results of these surveys. And never once did I ask for the business. But then when I called them back, that's when I would ask for the business. And I would say, hey, some of the things I learned was the 93% of realtors think that the housing prices are going to stabilize and we aren't going to see prices go down further, or whatever that may be. But one thing I did learn is that realtors really wish their loan officers answered their phone more, or realtors wish the loan officers did this or that. And that's what you get from the surveys. You find out what loan officers are doing right and what they're not doing right. And I've used that over the years, and that's how I've gained realtor business on the front side of things with agents I've never met before, instead of just a traditional cold call asking them to go to coffee. Now, there's a lot of other things you can do. Listing agents are another great example of that. Every single time I would get a contract in, almost every time there would be a listing agent I didn't know. Occasionally the listing agent on that contract I would know already, but 9 out of 10 times you don't know the listing agent. And that gives you a great opportunity to develop a relationship with them. You've got the next 30 days or 3 weeks or whatever the time frame is for that escrow to wow and dazzle that listing agent with great communication and service. So again, it's not just about making coffee calls and coffee dates that everybody out there is doing right now and cold calls. Do something different. Take care of that listing agent. Dazzle them with the best service they've ever had in communication. Trust me, if you give them great service and communication, it's going to go a long way. Most loan officers don't want to talk to the listing agents. I hear the terms like stay in their lane. Wish they would just leave me alone. I'm not their seller's not my customer. Well, you know what? They're all our customers. We want them to be our referral partner. So go ahead and dazzle those listing agents with as much communication and kindness as you possibly can, because they're not getting it from the average loan officer on the listing side. And then again, the way to meet realtors, do something like a survey. Or a couple of the loan officers that work for us, Ben Bell down in Georgia, he does a coffee shop date. It's not a coffee date. He goes to a coffee shop and sponsors cups of coffee for realtors that just come in out of the blue. So there's a lot of ways to work outside the box. We talk about these on the daily sales huddle every day at 4 o'clock Eastern. On many of the shows that we do is exactly on topics like meeting realtors. So I suggest a couple things as a call to action. First of all, join the daily sales huddle, because you will get tips and tricks on how to meet realtors on that sales huddle from guys like myself, Andrew Cady, Ben Bell, Matt Newman, Adam West. So many people that do really good business with realtors are on those calls daily. And then find some other way to meet agents. Again, my way back in 2008 and 9, when I really needed it, was doing surveys. More importantly, this Friday, call every agent, text or email every agent you know, and remind them that we work when they work, meaning that you'll answer your phone or connect with them on Saturday or Sunday when they're out there hustling and selling homes. They'll know that you're available, and that'll go a long way. So that's the call to action. Get out there this Friday, communicate that you're available this weekend, and then find new ways to meet agents.
Hey everybody, my name is Vincent DeRisi with UMortgage. I've been with UMortgage for about 5 months. Transition has been amazing. The leadership has put us in the right direction to succeed. It's been literally amazing. Wanted to talk about a few things about our growth here at UMortgage. we've been working with a local affiliate, Fox 19 News. He was literally a previous client of ours, and he was amazed by the service that we were able to give to him with his purchase. And he gave us the opportunity to come on Fox 19, and we've been on there for a few months now. We've been talking about the advantages of home ownership, talking about the market, and all the privileges of being a homeowner. That is one of the biggest things that we utilize to be on top of mind for our clients and our referral partners. We feel like that outreach has really hit the goal of the people that we're trying to touch, especially with the homeowners, obviously on watching the news, and then our referral partners just giving us some credibility of us, being available to talk about home ownership. The advice that I would give to people trying to grow themselves and do something like this is to definitely be engaging with your clients, right? You do a loan for your client, they're in a certain business, try to maybe give them a referral. Referrals get referrals, so be engaged with your clients, be engaged obviously with your referral partners, but I think it's just as important to be try to give back to your borrowers just as much. So thank you so much for having me. If you want to grow just like we're growing here at the Midwest branch, please reach out to us at any time. Thanks again.
Great job, everybody. This has been a great weekly sales meeting. I'm pumped up. Vinny, Todd, Breon, Lindsay, everybody brought their A game today. Awesome value, tangible takeaways, clear call to actions. That's the game. That's how we're getting better together as a team. So great job, everybody. And also behind the scenes, great job, Nicole Peranio, getting everybody prepared, doing what it takes to coach everybody up, make sure we make this great. It's a process. It doesn't just happen. So she's doing an amazing job as well. A couple things here before we wrap up. Number one, going into Q2, ready to dominate. Okay. Like to me right now, like the mindset I had in the fourth quarter of 2022 was like, hey, I'm going all in. I'm going to put all my chips on the table. Rates had hit their highest point. The market was at the highest turmoil. Borrowers are confidence is low, not a lot of inventory, like everything's bad. And I said, you know what? I'm putting all of my chips in the middle of the table. I'm going all in. I went literally on an all-out recruiting spree like I've never gone before. And the byproduct we're going to talk about later in the week, but the byproduct was we dominated Q1. We doubled our volume. We got the people that came on our team are game changers. We're talking about key contributors: Todd, Tyler, Breon, Vinny, Chad. I mean, you go over all the people that joined us in Q4, both on the loan side and also the business side. It's like, wow, we got a lot of big time players and contributors here in Q4. So to me, Q1 was about stabilization, getting the business dialed in, making sure we're executing on everything we need to execute for, and then getting ready for dominating Q2. So dominating Q2 is going to be, all out recruiting. That's for me. That's my job. 2 is going to be all out business development, new relationships, more customers, doubling our business. Like whatever your funded loans per LO is today, we got to double it. Like that's the goal in Q2. When I think about growth, it starts with how can we grow individually? And then the outcome is how can we grow at the macro level? So that's what we're going into Q2 with. The clock starts, somebody would say, well, what are you waiting for, to start Q1? Say, I'm finishing out the quarter. We've got a great investor call on Friday to talk through how we performed in Q4 and how we performed in Q1 as well. But I'm going to Q2 focused on making sure I'm maximizing our growth. And that's individual growth. I want whatever you want to grow at, I want you to grow. But the outcome should be more loans. At the end of the day, it's hey, I'm going to be a better leader. I'm going to be a better presenter. I'm going to be a better coach. I'm going to learn more products. I'm going to be better at facilitating those, that product knowledge to my customers. Whatever it is, more loans. And that's exactly what we're doing in Q2. So putting that mindset on, people ask me all the time, hey, how can I help? What can I do? More loans. And in order to get more loans, because that's an outcome, again, the machine creates the outcome. Your machine is understanding what are my daily activities? Hey, I need to spend an hour a day on focusing on people that are not relationships sending me business today. I need to develop those relationships. It can be the barista at the Starbucks. It could be the waiter at the diner. It could be whatever it is. It's not just real estate agents and builders. Understand, everyone is a customer And the more that you build the habits, again, leaving your comfort zone, to create the machine that drives the activities that produces more loans and more referrals. You just heard Vinny say referrals that create referrals. That's the game. That really is the game. He spoke it. When you do that, more loans come. The outcome happens. So but one last call to action is Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We have our quarterly Q4 investor meeting. This is a little bit late. We had a lot of excuses why it happened, but Q4 investor meeting, we're going to talk about how we performed in Q4. We're going to talk a lot about how we performed in Q1 as well. And we're going to set the table for where we're going to be for the rest of the year. Again, if you're not familiar with this, we behave like we're a publicly traded company. We're full transparency. We show our financials. We show our performance. We set forecasts. We have high level of accountability. Gil Arbitzman and myself will be doing this presentation. And at the end of the day, it's all about understanding like, hey, listen, if we come up short, hey, why do we come up short? How do we make sure we don't come up short again? When we exceed expectations, what led to that outcome? How did we get there? But at the end of the day, being able to have a clear plan, a clear vision, and execute on those things, that is how you reach your full potential. That's how you get better every day and become the best version of yourself. So have a great rest of the week. Thank you for attending today's weekly sales meeting, and talk to you soon.